Acrylic gets a clump in it.
Me too. Okay. We're going to do our thing for a while, and then I'll show you what we're doing, because we just started. So, we're painting these leaves.
I'm going to do
this color.
I think I'm going to be doing 2 coats of this green, just because.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm used to doing that with acrylic, a light coat, and then another coat on top of the...
Yeah. I'm just trying to get it to where you want it to be kind of a thin coat first, and then it dries quicker, and then you can put more on it. If we had a hairdryer, this would be way quicker.
I forgot about that. I'm a little afraid to go ask Mom for anything else. She was kind of grumpy when I went down there.
Oh yeah, she was grumpy. That I'm staying, or?
So I've stained glass on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I was like, can I just go Thursday? And she's a little bit, it's not you, it's because I asked to do that.
Oh. That's cool though, stained glass.
Yeah, I get tired of things.
Yeah.
If I do them a lot, and I'm kind of burned out from that. I'm at the point where I'm just helping her with her piece, because I just don't even want to work on mine.
Yeah.
And mine's super freaking simple. So.
I want like crystals, like purple crystals. I've sent a picture to my stepmom because she does stained glass too. I was like, oh, these, you should make these simple. Simple.
Yeah. My mom is not.
I hate making Michael mad. I hate it. He's not like mad, he's just disappointed. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed. And I'm like, that's worse.
That's worse. I don't want you to be disappointed in me. I spent too much money, and so it's my fucking issue. I got excited and I wanted stuff and I bought stuff.
We didn't spend money on the pink things.
I bought cool contacts that turn my eyes black so I can be a mermaid with cool black eyes. I got 2 hair extensions. I got Michael some stuff. I spent way too much money on this gift that he didn't even like, so... He was like, why'd you buy this? You should have just told me you want to give me something. I told you what I wanted. And I'm like, well
you're welcome.
I like it, because it's Star Wars, and you like Star Wars.
I hate that when, like, you get, and then when somebody gets me something, I don't tell them, like, if I don't like it, I don't straight up say, I dislike this.
No, he was just like, thank you, I appreciate it, but...
I'm not gonna use it.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Yeah. I'm like, just decorate with it? I don't fucking know. I got it for you because it was Star Wars, and I thought you'd like it. It was like a D&D beginner box, Star Wars edition.
That's awesome.
Yeah! He didn't like it. He doesn't want to do it. I thought he would like it.
I had this Harry Potter one, and nobody would play it with me.
I fucking love Harry Potter. I will definitely play that.
Once I get the apartment with my friend, we should have you over, and the 3 of us can play it.
Yes. I'm Slytherin.
My friend and I are both Hufflepuff.
Yo, Slytherins
but she's like that
Hufflepuffs.
mom friend.
Slytherins protect Hufflepuffs.
Yes.
Because they're like both abandoned by the other school members.
There's like this thing where it's like, so
don't mess with the
Gryffindors
Slytherins.
do stupid things to like, because they're
so brave.
Yeah.
And I only
Slytherins do stupid things to try to best the Gryffindors.
No, but we also we defend our own kind.
Yeah.
We will defend our kin.
So if like they're what's the one trait? There's this one trait where it's like they're gonna do it because it's like if somebody tells them they can't do it, they're gonna be like, oh yeah?
Yeah, that's me.
So there's that, and then it's like Ravenclaws do stupid things for, I can't remember what
because they want to prove they're smart.
Yes, because prove they're smart. And then it's like Hufflepuffs just do stupid things because somebody has to do it with them to watch and make sure they don't get hurt.
Yeah, and Hufflepuffs also are always ready for snacks. They live by the kitchen. They're always ready for snacks.
I have this meme in my phone.
They come really prepared for picnics and shit.
They do.
They're just ready to eat.
I have this meme in my phone for Hufflepuffs that's like...
You got like a bag of holding and it's like food. It's just food.
Yes. The meme is like It's a Hufflepuff and the Slytherin goes, "This is not what I thought you meant when you said you were going to show me magic in bed." And it's like, "Was this your card?" It's like, "Yes, it actually was."
Yes, it was.
My friend found that and I was like, "It's me."
It's me. That's funny. Is this your card? Yo, the Slytherin Hufflepuff relation. Michael is Hufflepuff too, so it's dynamic.
He is.
Goes down in history.
I think it goes Slytherin and Hufflepuff kind of personalities go really good together.
Yeah, they do. They do. Obviously, we get along.
Yes.
But yeah, I used to write Harry Potter fan fiction. I could probably find it, but the page is closed. Like, you can't write on it anymore.
Oh.
But you can read the stuff that was on there. But you have to kind of know.
Was it on one of those?
It's like an archive now.
Yeah.
It's just, it was called Protagonize, and I used to write on that religiously.
I look
write
through
all the time.
I look at our archive of our own. Problem is, you have to look through so much messed up shit to find anything good.
Yeah, well, mine is like, I have to put the name of the book or the name of the writer, which mine was just Libby.writer.
Yeah.
If you want to read my fan fictions, go to Libby.writer on
Really
Protagonized, and it's very cringy and adorable, and I love it, and I would totally read it again. But it's only like a few chapters long because I got burned out.
Yeah, that's the whole thing where I'm like, I could write something, and then I start, I'm like, no, never mind.
It slowly gets worse as you're trying to do it, and it's just like the quality, the wording, it's like bad. It just gets bad. So you're doing it too hard. You can see the leaves.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Did
get
you put water on it?
Not now.
Okay, don't break that habit. See, look at mine. It's thick.
I only put it on once at the start.
Okay, well.
And I dried it, too.
Yeah, it's too much water.
I need more. This is it.
This is why you were like, oh, it's got like a frayed edge. It's because when you peel it off, there's going to be frayed edges.
That's easy to trim, though. Right?
Yeah, and it's easy to peel this off. So once it's half dry or tacky, then I see how it's lifting up already. Then you just kind of go with the back of the paintbrush and just pop it off.
If I had a smaller brush, I'd purposefully do lines to, in scales that have the...
See, like this? This is what I would do. I would lift it up with the paintbrush, and then I would move them to let them dry. But yeah,
Should I do that?
No, you don't have to copy me. We're just gonna let them dry. But this is a leaf I painted green.
I forgot we were on YouTube.
Yeah, we're totally talking about Harry Potter fan fiction and shit on my YouTube. While I make stupid faces at the camera suddenly. Yeah. But yeah, I used to... So, you want to hear the premise of my story?
Do I?
Yes, it's adorable. You will love it. It's like bringing together multiple houses, and it's... So, instead of doing... branching off of, like... Here are my characters in the world of Harry Potter, and he meets Harry Potter. It's not like that. So it's just in the world of Harry Potter in London, Hogwarts. Okay. So it's Hogwarts, but it's a different generation. This is after Harry and all the other, gang have their kids. It's after them. So it's like, you know how Ron and Hermione had, like, I think they had 3 kids? 3 kids?
Yeah.
So in my universe, it branches off that, and they had more than 3 kids. So they've had 4 kids, and no, 5 kids. So they had the first 2 older, Hugo and Rose, and then they have
that named
another kid, which his name is Raiden, and Molly. They named a little girl after his mom, Molly. That's the youngest, and she's like 5. So we follow Raiden. Oh my god. He's mad at me. I'm glad you can completely ignore shit. Oh my god. Anytime I don't have money.
Angie.
I got carried away. I spent too much money.
feeling partially my fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault because I feel like social pressure to like spend money when I don't have it. But I also don't want to make you spend your money on me all the time. We're just trying to do mermaid shit. Okay, but yeah, what was I saying? Oh, okay, so after Rose and Hugo, they're in their second year. And so then we follow the youngest son, Raiden Weasley. And he, redhead little boy, freckles, just like his dad, you know. The Weasleys.
Weasels.
So they're in their first year and they're going to be housed, like in the, houses, sorting hat and all that jazz. So, okay, there's Raiden Weasley. There's Creighton Malfoy. Creighton Amos Malfoy. And I don't know if it was Amos. I think it was something else.
Wasn't Amos one of the characters in the book?
I think it's Dumbledore's name or something.
Dumbledore has like 50 names.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't remember his middle name. I forgot it. It's something old-timey sounding, Creighton. And so Creighton's he's Malfoy's youngest son. He had Scorpio and Creighton. Scorpio's a bully. Creighton is socially shy and awkward. And he is an artist. He's an artist, and he's also a bit of a rebel. And I'll get to that after I introduce my favorite character, Hannah.
That is such a normal name compared to all the other ones.
Hannah is based off my little sister, Hannah Lee. And her last name is, No, it's not Montana. No, but her name is just like a basic name. I don't know. It's like Hannah something. I don't know. I was gonna do a thing where she was Hannah Potter, and then I decided not to do that.
I'm glad.
She's not Harry Potter's daughter. She is just someone else's daughter. So the story with Hannah is she's the main character. She's 11 years old, about to go in her first year of school. She has a twin sister who's a squib. And her name is Elizabeth. She's me. She's a squib. But the cool thing about Libby or Elizabeth, she's a squib and she was born with blonde hair. Hannah has black hair. And it's because Hannah absorbed all the magic from her sister when they were in utero. But nay, Libby does not have magic. She's just a late bloomer because I was held back in school and I was always a year behind. So my character, Libby, is basically just Hannah's twin sister who's a year behind. So that's basically me in a nutshell being inserted into the story without actually having to be the main character. I'm just held back. But, she has to go to a normal school, like Muggle school. And then she starts to develop magic traits. And then they send her to Hogwarts for her first year. And she's behind. And she gets bullied for it. But Hannah's like, don't mess with my sister. So the kids are on the train going to school. Duh. Everybody's on the train. Hannah, she is in the bathroom getting, she's embarrassed. She's nervous. Oh, and Hannah has a pet snake. By the way, she has a snake. Because she can talk to snakes. She's a Parseltongue. And there's also more secrets. Okay, so Hannah meets this girl named Rena, who is really shy, terribly shy. She's... Don't socialize with me! She has hair in her face, and she's like a little mousy girl, and she's really shy. And she meets her in the bathroom and gets embarrassed and runs away. And then Hannah's just confused,
okay.
So then she goes to the boxcar where she was seated. And there's a boy in there named Raiden. Little Raiden Weasley. And she starts talking to him, and he drops his name, and she's like, oh my god, are you really a Weasley? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's a lot of shoes to fill, though. It's not, like, fun. He's like, all my brothers, and, you know, my uncles are cooler than me, and I want to be like my uncle and be like a chick.
And I'm like 12.
He's like, I want to be a beater, just like my uncle was,
That
and
sounds bad.
he wants to play in Quidditch. And Hannah's like, yo, I'm gonna be a seeker. And they're like, he's like, no, you're not. And she's like, yeah, I want to be a seeker. And then so she tries out for they try out for the team, but that's like in the later chapter. But anyways, she wants to be a seeker, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But anyways, Hannah wants to be a seeker, and then so they're sitting in this boxcar, and then out of nowhere, this boy is being pushed around in the cart near them, and you hear like a loud bang against their door. And Hannah, being a little don't fuck with people, you know, she stands up for bullies and shit, bullying. She sees this boy, and Raiden kind of just like hides himself because he knows who this kid is, and he doesn't want to be associated with him. Hannah doesn't know who the fuck anybody is because she's not from around here. She's from America.
She's from America.
They moved here because they wanted their kids to go to Hogwarts, even though there's one in America, but they wanted to move to London and do that. So
America's not cool.
Yeah, they wanted to be in. I think it was for family too. They have a grandmother that lived there, and she wanted to carry the name out or some shit. I don't know. But Hannah stood up against this bully who was beating up on this kid. He's got blonde, kind of like a bowl cut, but it's like pretty. You know, like how those kids with like the swoopy hair.
Blonde Spock.
You know, no. You know, like those kids that have like the hat hair that like flips like feathers, and it looks really pretty in some cases. But in Raiden's case, or no, what's his name? Creighton's case, he's really pretty. He's a really pretty boy, but he's really meek, and he doesn't stand up for himself, and he's nothing like his father. He's nothing like his brother either. His brother's a bully. So his brother will like beat up on him, but then he'll like, you know how people think it's okay for you to beat up on him because his brother does.
Yeah.
So they try to beat up on him too to kind of fit in. And then so Hannah's pretty magically inclined because ever since she was little, she was very interested in learning magic. So she's been ahead of the curve. She's actually ahead of the curve in her age group. She already knows a lot of spells. I wouldn't say she's like a Mary Sue where she like knows everything. Mm-hmm. So the thing with Hannah is she knows the spells and she practices what she can, but her mom always steps in and is like, you're not allowed to do that, you know. So she tries to practice in secret, you know. And there's things that she can do, but she's really good on a broom, and she can do some certain spells really well. But she knows her books. She knows her books. She's a very smart girl.
Her bookies?
Mm-hmm. She's a book smart girl. She's well written. And her mom has like this crazy library under the house, and she's been sneaking books for years and reading it. Including one you'll learn about here in a bit. She read this book in her mom's basement that she should not have read, but she did. And anyway, so she stands up for Creighton. She saves the day because she drenches this boy in the hallway with Aguamente. Yes, she drenched him in water. She also drenched Creighton and herself, so
good job.
That's the thing with Hannah, is she can do spells, but she's very clumsy.
Well, I'm trying to pick up paint off a leaf.
Mm-hmm. She's very clumsy and kooky, and that's the name of the book. Kooks. Because they're kooky kids. Kooks. It had nothing to do with Harry Potter and the blah, blah, blah. It was just Kooks. It was just the Kooks. And they were just little kids going to Hogwarts. Okay, so
not a good.
I'm telling this story and it's crazy. I haven't told this story in a long time. So Hannah, drenches the kid. They have to go to the bathroom and like change their robes and shit because they're going to a fucking robing ceremony.
I feel like this was a bad water thing.
It's okay. It's actually good because you just brush against that and it comes out. So Hannah put her robe on backwards.
Good job.
when she gets out of the bathroom, and this other girl sees her and like makes fun of her, and it actually hurts her feelings because she felt stupid. She was embarrassed. And then Raiden, little Weasley, comes in and goes, "Oh, leave her alone. Like, it's her first day, blah, blah, blah." Stood up for her. And so they're like best friends. Creighton, however, wants nothing to do with Hannah because she drenched him with water. He sees that she like stood up for him and was like,
"Nope."
He was like, "Next time, don't try and save me," or some shit.
Some angsty teen shit.
And then this happens. So Hannah's all clumsy. You know how when they get off the train, they get on these boats and float up to the castle?
Yeah.
Hannah almost falls out of the boat.
Oh, good job.
She almost falls off the boat.
This child is a genius.
Yes. So she's stepping into the boat and slips and almost falls. And Creighton catches her by her backwards rope. And then it unzips and she falls in the boat. But she didn't fall in the water. So because she had it on backwards, it was like... And...
You're right. This. How did you go? You know, kids would totally not realize if they have a robe with one giant open sign.
But
on
she
backwards.
fell in slow-mo because he got her. He caught her. So she just went like this. She just went right into the boat.
A brown lump, and I made it worse.
Okay. But yeah, so she just fell on the boat, and people were giggling at her, but she's like, thanks. Thanks to Creighton. And that sparked her interest in him. She's like, he's going to be my friend. Period. Question mark? She's going to befriend him, but he's very reluctant. He's very reluctant.
They will pop.
But Raiden loves her. He's all over friends with Hannah. He's already like, yeah, she's my friend now. Okay, so then they get into the sorting. They're in the hallway, waiting to be sorted. People are already at the tables, they're behind the door. And McGonagall is the headmaster now because Dumbledore passed away. And so McGonagall opens the door using a spell. She doesn't even have to fucking go open it like she used to. She opened. These kids start piling in, and they all have to sit in these empty tables in the middle. And all these older kids are on the outside, and they're like watching all these kids coming in. And then let's just do this. We're just going to blow it, let them dry off a little, and then we can add more color.
I'm tempted to go see if
you need to put more.
Has a blow dryer.
I think it'll dry pretty fast. It's already tacky. Okay, so they're in the sorting room, and the ceremony begins. They have a choir singing when they were coming through, and they have like frogs, and they're singing with their frogs. It's so cute. I love frogs. But yeah, there's a choir, and they're all like second years or third years mixed together, and they're like singing with their frogs in the choir. And then the conductor's the short professor, and he's like doing the standing on books and stuff, and he's like singing. I actually like wrote lyrics to what they were singing, and it was the welcome. It was actually from the book, the original first book, and it's like the welcome to our school song, basically. So Hannah's feeling like, wow, I'm in school, wow. And so they start calling off names. I list off some names. I didn't list off a bunch of names, but just some names that might come in, like, be important later. So Hannah can kind of see these people and, like, put names to them. And I don't remember them all, but I know there was a blonde girl who becomes a Gryffindor. And then Raiden becomes a Gryffindor. And then Rena becomes a Ravenclaw. Rena, the little meek, mousy girl that we saw in the bathroom. And then that girl that was picking on her, Slytherin, obviously. I'm Slytherin too, so. But no, and then guess what? Creighton gets called up there. Hannah's like, oh, I wonder what house he's going to be in. Because she doesn't even know who Creighton Malfoy is yet. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Okay, so she doesn't know who Malfoy is. She's not from around here. So Creighton gets called up there, and it's taking a little longer than it was before. All the other people, they would put the hat on, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw. So Creighton sits in the chair. They put the hat on him, and it's like he's talking to the hat without opening his mouth. They're kind of having a conversation. And you hear the hat kind of quietly be like, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to do that? Because, like father, like son.
Yeah.
He's expected to be in Slytherin like his brother. And he's like, no, I don't want to be in Slytherin. He's like, yeah, I'm sure. He's like, anything else, I don't care. He's like, put me in whatever you want. And they put him in Ravenclaw. He's in Ravenclaw. He's really smart. Okay, so Raiden's a Gryffindor. Creighton's Ravenclaw. And then Hannah gets called up there, and she's like, oh, I bet I'm going to be a Gryffindor. I'm great. I'm I'm a hero. Like,
cool.
She's like, I stand up for people. I'm a Gryffindor. She sits in the chair. Ravenclaw. And she's like, what? And it's because she's book smart. She's smart. She'll fit right in. But she doesn't know. She's embarrassed. She's like, oh, okay, be Ravenclaw, I guess. She's like, what? I want to be Gryffindor. And he's like, well, I've spoken.
Well, too bad.
I've spoken. Can't take it back once I've said it. And she's like, ah. But then she's like, well, at least I know somebody in Ravenclaw. She knows Creighton, so. All right, so then they eat, and she's sitting with Creighton because that's the only person she knows other than Rena, and Rena will not talk to anybody. She's fucking sitting here with her hood all the way on, hiding and she's just like eating quietly,
angsty,
really meekly. She's super shy, like, don't talk near her.
Don't talk near her.
She cannot handle social anything. But Creighton is just like, he's a loner. He's not like antisocial. He's just a loner. He likes being alone. He likes doing his own thing. So he's doing his own thing, eating his food, and he's kind of doodling in his little sketchbook. And Hannah's trying to peek over and see what he's doing. And he's like, he closes the book. He's like, don't look at my stuff. And then after dinner, Hannah tries to joke around with Creighton, and he's just not receptive. But she's just trying to befriend him, and it's not working because he doesn't like her bubbly personality. He actually is really annoyed of her right now. And she doesn't know how to not be annoying because she's me. She's actually not my sister. She looks like my sister, but she's me. I'm not my sister Hannah, and Hannah is totally different from the character Hannah. But I took her likeness, my sister's likeness. But anyways, they get taken to their houses. Hannah meets little Miss Blonde Girl that... Oh, no. That
was her name.
The little... I don't know Miss Blonde Girl who was in Ravenclaw. There was a blonde girl in Ravenclaw. But there's a blonde girl in Gryffindor who ends up liking Raiden. Because they're in the same house and she likes him. Hannah doesn't like anyone yet because she's 11. She doesn't have crushes on people yet, but she will. She will. But I had like 4 books planned out. Okay, and this is only like chapter 1 that I've gotten to. Is they just got in the house and she's like trying to talk to people, and nobody's talking to her because she's weird and like she has to kind of prove herself. Like, why am I in Ravenclaw? Because it's kind of obvious for other people why they're in Ravenclaw. They're book smart. She's clumsy and goofy, and she's heroic. She stood up for people, but she's smart, and that's where she belongs, is to be with all the smarties. She doesn't know that though. She doesn't believe it. She's self-conscious. Okay, this is probably enough coats. This one needs more.
I'm having to wait till these other ones dry because it's just becoming... I'm scraping it off.
Yeah, you're doing it a little too hard. You just gotta be really light. See how mine is? This one's good. That one's good.
Yeah, this one's up dried and then I did another
they're too wet. Look. I just brushed it on. And then I'm not like... You don't have to see the leaves. That's the whole point. We don't want to see the leaves. These are scales. And I brushed them up like this because... Scales have those striation marks that go up.
I was doing them down.
That's fine. But I'm just talking about this vertical, not sideways. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Good.
Like
Okay, so Hannah's talking to her snake.
I think this brush also is pulling it off.
And you got it too wet again.
I didn't get it wet again.
Then you're just scraping it off.
Well, I'm barely even touching it.
Oh my gosh, you need more paint then. Put a little bit more and just wipe it. There you go. See? There you go.
I'm afraid it's gonna like...
No, it's gonna come off.
One
Look,
thing that used to happen
when
with,
it dries, it lifts up on the edges.
What used to happen was I put too thick of an acrylic on
and the
there,
thing is, you want it
one
stuck.
layer wouldn't dry.
Remember how some of them were crinkled? This
Yeah.
keeps them kind of flat. That's what we want. We want them to look as flat as possible. Once these are dry, then I think these ones I'm going to do, some of them are going to have the blue like that, but the rest are going to be green and yellow. Okay? Because we're going to have the middle and the front be pale. And then we can even make some that are white in the very middle. Okay, so yeah, I'm just telling a story, and it's like 30 minutes of me just telling a story that I made up when I was like 10. Or, no, I was like 15, I think. I was like 15. I made a lot of stories when I was 15. I could tell stories. But anyways, so Hannah's talking to her snake in her bed. Her snack. And, you know how they have the curtains on the bed? Mm-hmm. Hannah has hers like drawn down. She's privacy curtain. She's talking to her snake. Somebody hears her, and they're like, "Who are you talking to?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just talking to my snake. He's a little corn snake. He's a white and yellow corn snake. He's kind of albino." They're stinky.
Creamsicles.
Yeah. And
orange,
I think his name is Noodle or something. I don't know. Something dumb.
Creative.
It was something dumb. It was like Noodle or like, I don't know. I think it was Corn. Or, I don't know what she named him.
Name your corn snake
Corn. But I don't know. She was just
creative.
She had a pet snake, but he actually would talk to her because she's parcel tongue. So she's talking to her snake.
Out for giving him
No, he gave her his name, but she raised him. So she would have a nickname when she was younger, and then as it started getting older and was like able to talk back to her, she gave a name to him that he kind of picked. Like, this is what I want to be called.
A cat, the name Freckles, but it turned out he had fleas.
This paint is globby, so use it liberally.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't do what we're doing with this. We're just going to I'll show you.
Yeah, so, I thought we were only doing this with
So grab a tiny bit, go from the top, and go, and just brush it on.
Didn't you want like a gradient going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to have some of these be this one.
Okay.
And I also have this yellow, too. So we can throw some of that on there for the darker bits. But I basically just take a little glob, and I just kind of streak it, make a streak. They don't all have to look the same. Okay, so I'm not even going to show you because you don't deserve it. I'm just kidding. We're doing something different now. We're talking about Harry Potter fan fiction, and this is your fault because you brought up Harry Potter. Are you enjoying it though? It's extensive.
Long story.
Oh, and I'm not even done. Like, there's a lot. I only wrote one book, and I only finished like 4 chapters, and I knew what I wanted to write. I had the outline. Like, I wrote a whole outline.
You just started, and then you're like, I don't want to do this.
It was just a lot of writing, and I wasn't very confident in it, and I wish I kept going, because it was fun. I had fun with it. But anyway, so Hannah's talking to her snake. Someone overhears her, and then she's just like, I'm just talking to my snake, and they're like, weird, you're weird. Only Slytherins do that. Are you really a Slytherin? And she's like, no, I just like animals. And they're like, oh, fair. But she makes a friend in her class. I don't remember her name though. She's not very relevant. She's just some girl.
She makes a friend, but she doesn't matter.
She's not like her best friend or nothing. She's not relevant. She's just some girl in the room. But someone that she talks to at night sometimes, like randomly. Okay, so they go to
being asleep and she just being like, "Are you awake?
Are you awake?" No, but you know how like right before bed you can kind of chat with people. That's kind of it. She would just be like in a little group of girls. Eventually, she like joins like a group of girls But in the beginning, she's really socially awkward and doesn't talk to very many people. She tries, and then she feels like embarrassed for being weird and
Yours are
herself.
also like organized, and I'm like,
No, it's not.
no,
Oh.
mine are like every direction under the sun.
Yo, I'm opening up your potential because I'm being OCD and you're like usually the one that is. Okay, so they go to their first class and Hannah's like a little bit late. She overslept. Obviously, this is an anime. Hannah overslept a little bit, and so she's running in the hallway, which you're not supposed to do. She gets yelled at by a teacher to stop running in the hall. She stops running in the hall and bumps into Creighton, who is also late for some reason. He's late because he was being swirled in the toilets by his brother. Wonderful story. He was swirling in the toilet because his brother was mad at him for not being in Slytherin. And then he's like,
yes,
wait till father hears about this. You know, just like Malfoy was.
Yes.
Malfoy's changed a lot, though. He's a more, he has expectations, kind of like his father did, because he was raised in a harsh environment. But he's kind of soft on Creighton. He's like the baby. And then Scorpio hates that. He's like,
not fair.
why does he get special treatment? Fuck you. So Scorpio's just like a total bully. And he wears eyeliner. He's got dark fucking eyeliner. Oh, and you know those characters that were made, I think they're fan made, and it was like Tonks and Lupin's kid, and those characters are in this one, but they're second years, so they don't see each other, but they might be in the hallway in the background, you know, like shit like that. It's in the same universe. It's canon. My shit's canon. So okay, Hannah and Creighton bump into each other. A bunch of papers fly everywhere. Hannah's trying to help him get his stuff, and he's like, "Stop helping!" And then she's like, "Ugh!" And then she like gets her stuff, and then they go to the class, and it turns out they're in the same fucking class, and he's like, "Ugh!" He's like, "I have to deal with this bitch every day." He just has to put up with her because he's in the same class, his first class with her, and they're both late. And then the teacher makes a joke about them snogging in the hallway, and he's like beet red. He's like pale. His face is like pale, so he turns like beet red. And Hannah's just like, no, sorry, I bumped into him in the hallway. And they're like, oh, okay. Hannah is seated, and Creighton, like, he seats himself way the fuck away from her. He's like, nope, I don't want to sit with you. So Hannah's sitting with this kid, and he is like a high school shooter looking kid. I'm telling you, this kid's fucking weird. He has dark bags under his eyes, like purple, and he has black, greasy hair, and he's just unkempt. He's emotionally unstable and angry. He looks very angry. He's angry for no reason. He looks like, but he's cute, you know, like he's cute, like, you know, Goob from that movie where he's like, everyone hates me, and everyone's like, hey, Goob, want to come to my house? And everyone hated me. Yeah, that's what he's like. And his name
doesn't exist.
No, it does. He's an important character. His name is, hold on. He has a fake name. I forgot what it was. I'm just going to call him Thomas. Okay, that's the only hint I can give you. His name is Thomas.
Riddle.
Yes. A descendant. No, but okay, so the story with the kid, I'll go ahead and give you spoilers because nobody's going to fucking read the story. Okay, so spoilers is, this is Voldemort's son. He didn't know he had. And it's not Bellatrix Lestrange, is not the mother. Nay. Her name is Emily Ramota. She was a girl sweetheart in his school days. She would follow him around, and he, you know, he was decent to her, but she was like the only one that was decent to him. But, you know, Riddle was a charismatic person. You know,
I pulled so much paint underneath this leaf.
Yeah, it's gonna hold it straight. Okay, so you know, Thomas Riddle was really charismatic. You know, people liked him until he started murdering his people and his own father. So anyways, he had this girlfriend named Emily, and when he became in power, she was like supporting him. Was like, oh my god, he's so brilliant, he's such a genius. Like Columbine Shooter, my boyfriend. She was like obsessed with him, and it's one of those tsundere type of. I don't know if I'm using the right word. Where she would kill for this person.
Yandere.
She would yandere. She's a yandere. So, anyways, she gives birth to this kid. He houses her before she gave birth. He didn't even know she was pregnant with his kid. He housed her in the house that after he killed his dad in.
Ooh.
He killed his father, and then he was like, "Here, come live in here." But he didn't really visit her very often because he was on to bigger and better things. But there were letters.
Like murdering people.
There were letters. He would write letters to her. And then when he was gone for a while, because he became the last part of the Horcrux and blew up, she thought he was fucking dead. But then when he came back, she just sees it in the newspapers and is like, oh my god, he's back? And, you know, but she doesn't ever get to see him. And she has this kid. And she, the only thing he has of his father is his finger.
Why?
Yeah. Because it got chopped off. One of his fingers got chopped off.
But how did he get it?
No, from his original body. His original body. Because you know how he gets reincarnated?
Yeah.
Through, what's his name? The guy, the teacher, Professor Pettigrew. She was like crazy, you know. He was dead. She chopped his finger off and like put it in a jar and like gave it to her son.
You know, you as one does.
As one does, but you know, valid. But anyways, she raised her son and she's very strict and like angry at him because she felt like he was gone because of him or something, just blaming him for everything, even though he had nothing to do with it. And she hated Harry Potter. Hated him.
Do we want to put the yellow on these?
Yes. Here, you can use my yellow because it's grainy. Right there. I'm just getting this
darker. What brush
darker.
should we use for that?
Any of them. They should be fine. This one's better than the other one, but it's a different shade, so do this one first. And just use like a tiny bit and go. I just did it like this.
Wait, I need to let things dry, I think.
Like that. And maybe like a little more. See how it can be messy, like streaks. Okay, so this is a 40-minute video of me talking about Harry Potter. Love it. Love you.
We love it.
We love it. We love a good story time. I might do this like more often because I have a lot of stories I haven't told.
No, I'm making this worse.
Where?
I was trying to get it to go up, but it's like, I'm just going to glob here and then leave it.
Just
just
swipe it. There you go. Yeah. Now you can leave it alone. I'm going to start doing this darker one. Okay, so yeah, Emily Ramota had this kid and raised him very shitty. She was a very shitty mom. And she raised him to idolize his dad. And he never knew his dad, so he has like this fantasy of what his dad is, you know? And he sees him as the good guy, and then he's like, and then this evil guy murdered him.
Okay.
Basically. So he's living in a fucking backwards universe. And then he goes to school to be undercover because he wants to be integrated into society like his dad was.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 11-year-old.
So, but he's like a little kid and he's a little shit. And he's got long, greasy, gross hair and nobody likes him. And he hates that nobody likes him because that's not what his dad was like. And he's not like his dad.
Go on there. Okay.
So he's like resenting people for not liking him, basically. because he wants to be like his dad. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna be like my dad. I'm gonna force people to do my bidding.
Be my friend.
Yeah.
This is forced friendship.
It's more like forced minionship. But he doesn't make any.
So with this brush, it's making it all look like I'm doing a single thing, even when I'm trying to like turn it. So should I use?
No, just do a second swipe.
Okay.
These look fine. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'm just doing the darker yellow is mostly on the top, and you can kind of swipe it down, but it's mostly on the top. So yeah, he's sitting next to Hannah, and Hannah's trying to be nice to him. And so they're doing some writing, and I think this is this is the class where the teacher's a ghost.
History of Magic.
Yeah, they're in History of Magic. So the teacher's a ghost, and he comes through the walls, and he's like, "Hello, I'm your professor. I'm this type of ghost. I'm blah blah blah. Now pull out your books, and we're gonna jump right in and start writing this notes because it will be on the test. Blah blah blah." Hannah's writing, and she's really good at taking notes. Kid next to her, his pen won't work. Hannah wants to be helpful and make friends, even with the weird kid. Even with the weird kid. You know what she does?
Oh no.
She tries to do a spell to fix his pen, and it explodes ink all over him.
Good job.
And then he just storms off the classroom, making like ink footprints everywhere.
That's brilliant.
And Hannah's just like, I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
And then the teacher was like, you're not supposed to do spells. If you do that again, you will be like in trouble. So she's like, I'm just trying to help him. I'm sorry. And he's like, well, I mean, it's a noble cause, but don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so then Hannah doesn't see that kid for like 2 days. Like, he just fucking disappeared. He just stopped coming to class, and she felt really bad because she embarrassed him.
Like, I killed him.
No, she just embarrassed him, but really what happened was he's trying to figure out how to open the chamber that his dad was using, and he can't figure it out. He's just stupid. Like, he doesn't know how his dad did it. So he's basically just in the girl's bathroom fucking around. Looking like a fucking weirdo. He's trying to talk to that ghost in there, too. He's trying to talk her up, because she, like,
even Moaning Myrtle doesn't want to be this man's friend.
Yeah, she doesn't. Well, she kind of is, but it's like she's making fun of him, and he's just someone that she can mess with, and he's just like, I need to use her, so I'm going to let her make fun of me. But he's basically just hanging out in the girl's bathroom being a creep. And, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have a plan. So what happens is that they go to their next class, and it is the second chapter. It looks fine. Some of them have to be lighter. Remember, they're going to be in the middle, and we're going to cut these into smaller bits. They don't have to look perfect. Mine don't look like they're great. I'm just fucking around. This is just the thing I'm good at, is painting, and this looks like really abstract. It's probably not even good. I didn't know what to do, so I was just like, I'll just make it look like paint. Because I like paint. I like that look. It's going to look good. If you want to do yours different, we can totally do that. We'll do whatever you want.
I think that's about all of the yellow from that.
It's fine. You pretty much did all of them except this one, but that's fine.
That one.
Here.
Yeah. Good enough.
There. Perfect. Okay. Second class. Oh.
I thought that was a paint blob.
I think second class is herbology, and it's Neville Longbottom is the teacher. He's the teacher for the herbology class. And he's talking about this plant that he loves. It's called the Nimulus something, and he's had it since he was little.
The blobby one.
Yeah, and this thing is massive. It is a massive plant. And he's letting people come around and touch it. he's like, yeah, if you want to come touch my plant, it's, social. I mean,
Come touch my plant.
he's like, well, he loves plants and he's raised this thing, and so it's kind of like, come touch my pet snake.
You want to come touch my plant?
Touch my pet snake. He's trying to warm up the crowd. He's trying to be like, here, kids, come be a part of plants. So they go to touch the plant. They're all in line touching the plant. Oh, wow. Hannah touches it. The plant fucking starts leaking gases into the room.
Why?
Because she was just the last person to touch it. It was overwhelmed. It wasn't even because Hannah did anything. It was just because she was the last one to touch it, and it was overwhelmed. And it did a little stink bomb. And Hannah didn't get in trouble because it wasn't her fault. It's a nebulous. That's what they do. It just farted in the class because it was like, people are touching me. And Neville had to clean up the mess. And then he was like, somebody get Hagrid and tell him I need this obscure thing I made up. It was like a random word, and it was like a... And then someone comes...
Do this?
Yeah. Do you want me to fix it?
Before I ruin everything.
Oh, yeah. You're good. I'm not going to do all of these with this darker yellow. I want to do some of them lighter. But anyways, Hagrid shows up, and he's got these big old jugs of liquid, and they go into the room, and just unknown things happen in there.
That sounds bad.
They basically
unknown things happened in
they
this
basically
room.
poured this liquid on the Nimbulus thing, and it calmed it down. It's like a fertilizer, I think, but it's like a obscure fertilizer that only Hagrid would have because of his obscurity animals that he has. It's probably like slug urine or some shit, like something weird, but that's what they do to calm it down and get it to stop squirting gunk into the...
Okay, that wasn't dry. Good me.
So this is Hannah now. We're looking at Hannah, at her physical being. She's standing in the hallway, a bunch of people everywhere. They're all, and Hannah's just realizing everything that's happened.
Should I dump this out?
Yes, we need a win. She's realizing what's happened. She's been like, this is the worst day of my life. This is supposed to be the first day of school. It's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to be awesome. And it's the worst. And Hannah is covered in ink on her left side, but her robe's black, so she can't see it, but she can feel it, and it's on her arm. She's covered in ink on her left side, and she smells like the Nimbulus plant, because she was right next to it when it went off. Everyone else just had to smell it. Hannah got it on her robes. So she's super upset, and then Raiden sees her in the hallway and is like, what's wrong? And she's like, I'm just having the terrible day, and I just want to go home. And he's like, well, don't worry, the next hour is the brooms class, and I think you're in there with me. Let me see your schedule. And he's like, yeah, you're in this class with me. Come on, we'll have a better day. And she's like, okay. So he's like, oh, you stink. This video is going to take forever to load. I hope people actually watch this. This is fun. I'm just telling a story about Harry Potter that I made up. So, so she goes to the brooms class, and she's really good with the broom, obviously, because she's been having a broom. It shows a flashback of her as a kid. She's been good with a broom since she was a kid. She got a broom for Christmas. Her sister got a bear that talks to her, it's not an animatronic bear, it's a magic bear. But anyways, it's bear, I'm your best friend. But Hannah got a broom because she can fly it. Libby couldn't, because she's not magic. She's squid for now. My ear looks like it's getting way better. But yeah, Michael will get over it. He'll get over it. Okay.
I had a stencil and I already lost
when these dry, oh no, the stencil should be over here. There it is.
Okay, cool.
When these dry, then we'll start cutting them out. And we need to add some dark ones just for the outside. Okay, so yeah, they go to brooms class. Hannah's doing great.
Oh,
and the teacher is like, you should definitely join the team. And Raiden was good, but Hannah was a little bit better. But I think Raiden, his dad was a keeper, but he wanted to be like his uncles. But he's not like fast like his uncles.
Mm-hmm.
He's more like, they were like, you're actually like pretty. You should be a keeper like your dad. And he's like, yeah, maybe I'll do that. So he ends up being a keeper, like his dad. He's got good reflexes, is what I'm trying to say. He's got good reflexes, but he's not fast like Hannah. Hannah's fast, but she's not seeker fast. She's chaser fast. So she becomes a chaser. They go out for the team. Hannah gets on the team, and she doesn't get to like play. They get to play in like the first year games, like beginners. Hannah does really well, so I think she ends up in higher grade, like with all the other grade, like where they do everybody in the school is there.
Yeah.
But Raiden is like trying to meet up to Hannah's speed. They end up having to practice together, and that's how they continue to build friendship. So there's banter of her and him being competitive, and that's their friendship. So Hannah is flying around on her broom. They're doing a practice game. It's not like a real score, but they're just playing the game. And Creighton is in the crowd, kind of watching her, but trying to pretend like he's not. And he's drawing pictures of her, those pictures that move.
Hey, I don't know if... Do you think any of this is going to like... Nah, it's kind of thick.
Yeah, it's going to be sprayed on with the silicone. It'll be fine.
I don't know how thick the silicone spray is going to spray those. What I was thinking.
It's going to be like really rubbery.
Wobbly.
Wobbly. Yeah, but Raiden's drawing pictures of her.
Wait.
What?
This isn't silicone, this is...
It's clear acrylic sealer. You want to do a test spray? I'm telling you, it's going to be like silicone when it dries.
Okay.
I've used that a lot. I've used it as like top coat for paintings. I'm just going to do like some of these because we just need to put them on the outsides.
Plus, yeah.
It doesn't need to be all of them.
We're going to do this color, and then this happens.
No, this is what we're doing. Because they're going to be tiny, and they're going to be lighter colored. Yeah. So we'll have lighter colored in the middle, darker on the outside.
Okay.
And then we'll blend in bigger ones. And then it'll be all green. And then it'll be lighter in the middle, darker on the top. Because this is the back, darker on the top.
So we need to start being careful how we lay this on here after this.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful about it.
I was just randomly laying all these.
No, it looks good though. We're going to put lighter in the middle, darker on the corners. This is just the bottom. It doesn't matter. People will see it, but it'll blend in. It'll look good.
I think this is the...
That's the back. That's the back.
Oh.
I drew on the back. Yeah. Okay, so this is a 58-minute video now. I've never uploaded a video that long.
I just dumped that whole thing.
Hopefully it'll work. Alright, so...
It's nearly dry. It's not cured, but...
So then they do, the animal class with Hagrid.
Okay, you laid it.
Yeah, I put it right here to keep it out of the way. So they go to Hagrid's class, and Hannah meets Hagrid, and he sees Creighton and Raiden and Hannah all together, and he's like, oh, I've seen this before. He's like, but this is weird, because it's a Malfoy, and he's like, trying to, sum him up and see what he's like. He's nothing like his father, so then he's like, all right, I like you. So, yeah, they're doing animal stuff, and I think Hannah talks to a unicorn. And it's like, Hannah's not just partial tongue, she just can talk to animals. But people are like, oh my god, you talk to a snake, you're just Slytherin. But Hannah's talking to a unicorn, and the unicorn explains to her why she can talk to animals, because it knows her kind. It can smell it on her. And she's like, oh yeah, that book I read that one time. And it like tells you about these types of people that
That book I read that one time.
it flashbacks to her being little, and it's like her reading these books in her secret room. And
I'm gonna stop leaning on that.
I think that's enough green. If I need more, I'll put more on, because we need more in the little. Okay, so yeah, Hannah read this book basically, and it was about animagus, and then it was also about these people who, when they do the spell enough, it becomes a part of their physical being, and then they can turn into things, but then they also understand things. So Hannah's been practicing that animagus spells and like other animal spells, and she's done it enough. That's like her main thing that she does, because she loves animals. Her main thing that she's doing is this spell with, animagus shit. So she's turning into an owl. She can turn into an owl.
Animagus potion spell thing is like gross.
Yeah, well, and it's dangerous if you do it wrong.
Yeah.
So, but Hannah just read about it a lot and practiced a lot. She messed up a few times. But then Raiden comes up to her and is like, I see you talking to that unicorn. And the unicorn kind of like makes it, it kind of glances at him, but it's a horse. You can't really tell with the face. Horses talk with their body language. But anyways, he can kind of tell that Raiden's got a secret too. I'm going to make it streaky. Yeah, what if this looks nothing like that? What am I missing?
What do you mean?
I think I started, I think I put a darker color on top of the edge. I think I did this one. On the top. Okay. So.
Well, you can also go back.
Yeah, I'm just putting some dark in there to kind of make it blend in. Bless you. So yeah, okay. So basically, I don't have any more of like the story because I stopped writing, but I had the outline. So basically, Hannah, Creighton, and Raiden are all animagus, and Rena.
That's a lot of.
Yeah, and Rena, but they all have
to do this to.
Yeah, if you want. I'm just doing the dark on the very top. But okay, so Hannah is an animagus because of her books she'd been reading in her mom's secret library. And Raiden is an animagus because he knows Tonks and Lupin. And he wanted to be like that. He wanted to do that.
It's so hard to do that with this.
Yeah. So he knew about Tonks and Lupin. He knows them, He grew up with them. He grew up with those people. And so he wanted to be like, he wanted to do that because he wants to stand out against his brothers. And so he learned how to do that, and he turns into a fox. And the only person who knows is his dad. He caught him doing it once. They keep it on the hush-hush because you're not really allowed to do magic when you're little.
Yeah.
But
only accidental magic.
Yeah. So Creighton did it to get an escape. He wanted to get away from his family and be alone under the pressures, But he turns into a cat, a white cat, and he'll just walk around. And people see this cat and they know that they have a house cat, but they don't know where it came from. It never adopted. It just started showing up, and they just accepted it. They just accepted it as part of the house, But it's just Creighton walking around trying to be alone.
I should stop.
I'm like, it looks good.
It doesn't look like yours, so I'm like, I don't want to ruin your.
Mine don't look like that. I'm trying to.
Are we trying to make them look like that?
No, but I want to kind of blend it into the sides to look.
Yeah, so I think at the end, after we have it all glued, you can take paint and sort of make it what's the word?
Blended in a little.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say draft. That's not the word I'm looking for. Not convergence. As it goes into one other color, you make the transfer, the
transition
look more smooth.
Yeah, so basically that's Kooks in a nutshell. Oh, and Rena turns into a bear.
That's easy to hide. A bear.
It's just funny because she's like really, really shy and like severely antisocial, and she turns into a fucking massive bear.
It's the child murderer energy coming out.
Well, she's a really sweet girl.
She like holds it all in, and then she turns into a bear so she doesn't murder.
Hannah becomes her only friend, and then she introduces her to Creighton and Raiden, and they have a treehouse in the Forbidden Forest.
That's way too much pain.
And they have adventures that they're not supposed to be having. But I made like 4 books. I didn't write them, but I wrote the outline. But basically, Hannah becomes a really good chaser, and Raiden becomes a good
other thing.
Keeper. He's a good keeper. Raiden has a crush on Hannah. Obviously, he's like, he liked her as soon as he met her. He was like, oh shit, I like Hannah. She's cool. I like her. She's cute. But Hannah doesn't reciprocate those feelings. Creighton, however, she likes Creighton. She wanted to impress him so much. Eventually, when he started being friends with her, they started catching feelings.
It's funny because I do a tabletop game. My character, like, if there's a character that's very antisocial, my character has totally done this like forced friendship thing where he just follows them everywhere. And so while we've been playing, it's like, so my character goes to Owlery to get away from Silas. I'm like, and Silas just follows him. And it's like, they're not allowed to do that, right? And the DM's like, nope, they can do that.
Yeah, Hannah basically just slowly becomes less clumsy and better at spells. That's pretty much Hannah's arc. She has to overcome her clumsiness. And then she has to, she learns magic really well. She's good at spells. She's not very good at potions. She's not an auror, like her dad was supposed to be Harry Potter, but she's not an auror. She can speak to animals, so Hagrid really likes her. And, oh, you're doing way too much, girl. Just like 3.
I thought we didn't want it to go over the yellow a lot.
No, you do.
Okay.
These ones are a little darker. But don't do all of them like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did some because we're going to cut them into pieces. But see the yellow peeks through. Yeah. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my story. That's all I have.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't put a lot of yellow on these.
I ship Hannah and Creighton, like.
I am now noticing I did not put a lot of yellow.
Put more yellow. Do the lighter yellow.
Get this off of it so I don't just put the blue on everything.
I don't even care that this is an hour-long video. It's gonna take forever to upload, but we'll see if it even does. I doubt it. Your video is too long. A file is too long.
Your face is too long.
Well, I will always have this video to look back on and watch me talk about stories.
See that really long cup with the thing sticking out of it?
This?
Yeah, hand it to me. I can't work with this thing.
Yeah, I gave you the least best brush. I mean, it's good. It's good quality, but I don't like the not angled
I wish I knew where all my good brushes. They've fallen off the face of the earth.
Okay, so I'm gonna let
There's makeup in here.
I'm gonna peel this off because I'm not.
I'll be right back.
Okay. We should have just been on Twitch or something.
That's what I said!
Should I start over? I'm just kidding.
No! A great story, but please no.
I didn't mean telling the whole story again. I meant making videos.
I found the paint palette